Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how you can get pretty privilege as a black girl. Many black women have this misconception that they can't be attractive because they're black, and they get belittled by so many groups of people, including white men, white women, black men, even other black women, Hispanic women, Asian women. Many groups of people will try to put black women down and make them feel like they are below everyone else and that we are not attractive or we cannot be attractive because we are black. And because of things like this, many black women have the idea that they can't be attractive and they start to feel very insecure within themselves, which is why I wanted to make this video. Because yes, you can be pretty as a black girl, of course, and yes, you can have a glow up. It's just the fact that many black women have been going about doing things like this the wrong way. They've been trying to put on wigs that don't resemble their own hair, blonde wigs, blue contact lenses, and bleaching their skin because they feel like that's what you have to do to be considered attractive. And you don't have to do that at all. So one of the main things I wanted to talk about is the way you carry yourselves. Now, many women of all groups may carry themselves in a not so attractive way, whether it's, your physical looks, which I will get into, but I wanted to talk about attitudes. As black women, we get stereotyped for being aggressive, disrespectful, masculine, all types of negative stereotypes to belittle us. And it is sad to mention or sad to say, but many black women do carry on those stereotypes, especially when I'm in public. When you carry on those stereotypes, many people will just look at you and think, oh, well, you're just another typical black girl. And that isn't the way that you want to be perceived as a black girl. And of course, many groups of women do act the exact same way, especially Hispanic women. But the difference is that they don't get treated the same way that black women do when they act like that, because they are not black, they are Hispanic. When they act like that, they get called spicy or feisty or anything that's more sexual, whereas black women do not get that same privilege. So you can't just sit there and think, oh, well, what about other groups of people, because they also act the same way. They do act the same way, but you are a black woman, so it's very different for us. Even when I'm in public as a black girl, sometimes other black girls will see me and instead of, smiling and being friendly, they may cut their eyes, and it's just not really friendly and approachable. And a lot of those same girls will go and complain about how no one approaches them or no men speak to them because you don't look approachable. You do genuinely look mean. Even me, I get the same feeling whenever I see black girls that do the same thing. It just makes you think, oh, well, I don't really want to talk to you because you do look very mean if you're cutting your eyes at me and just kissing your teeth or pushing past people. And I think that's something that a lot of black women do, which is the reason why many people don't really find them approachable. So the way you carry yourself is very important. Be more approachable. So that means smiling more. Don't argue with people. If people do try to test you, which people do, I mean, it's life, don't go back and forth. Just try to ignore. And that's something that I realize is a lot of non-black people, even black men, do like to test black women's patience because they do want to see you angry. They want to see the stereotypical angry black woman come out because they find joy in it, especially when they see a more classy or more laid back black woman. They like to see the angry black woman stereotype come out. So don't feed into that. Don't go back and forth with people. Don't argue with people. Just ignore. So now on to physical looks. So the first thing that I want to talk about is hair. Now, I've made a video about black women and wigs and my opinion on wigs, and I've said that, I'm not a fan of wigs. I cannot stand it. There's many reasons why I don't like it, and that's a whole nother video, but one of the main reasons why I don't like it is because I genuinely do believe that it takes away from black women's beauty, and I feel like a lot of black women don't really realize that our hair is like no other. No other group of people have hair like ours. No other group of people have kinky hair, coily hair, or curly hair apart from us. We're the main groups of people that have that hair texture. So it is exotic. I would consider our hair exotic. So when I see a lot of black women wearing wigs, trying to blend in with other people, trying to make themselves basic, it does kind of make me upset because they're taking away from their beauty. Every time I see a black woman wear her hair out, her natural hair out, it's just something about her that just draws your attention. And it doesn't only draw my attention, but it draws so many other people's attention as well. I've seen more black women get approached with their natural hair out compared to wigs because most people prefer it. But like I said, it isn't always about what other people prefer, it's about you. And I think more black women need to embrace their hair. And I know a lot of people are going to say that natural hair isn't really appreciated, but how are we going to appreciate natural hair if we barely wear it out? If you're constantly covering your hair with wigs and braiding your natural hair underneath, no one's going to appreciate your hair because it's barely being shown. More black women need to start being more authentic and wearing their natural hair out because, I mean, this is who we are. This is what we were born with naturally. We weren't born with wigs or blonde wigs on our head or bone straight hair. We were born with curly or kinky hair. And more black women need to start wearing it out because even when it comes to dating, which a lot of black women say, oh, but people prefer wigs or straight hair. They don't. They prefer natural hair. And I've seen so many groups of men say the same thing. And even me, it just looks so much better on black women than wigs. But for a lot of those women that do say that men prefer wigs or straight hair, especially when they're black women, that is probably the most false thing I've ever heard. Even in real life, I've seen so many situations of where black women who wear their natural hair out, they get way more male attention than when they wear wigs. Or even on social media, even on like Instagram, where you see black women just being their authentic selves, it will get thousands of comments and likes of men of all races and all different groups drooling over them because that's how they are naturally. That's how the black women look naturally. Not trying to look like someone else. They're not trying to look like a European woman or an Asian woman with the wigs on their head. They're being their authentic selves. And when you're being your authentic self, it comes off naturally. So yes, you do look more attractive when you have your natural hair out. Embrace who you are and stop trying to be someone that you're not and stop trying to look like someone that you don't look like. Embrace what you was born with naturally and wear it. Embrace who you are and be proud of it. Stop wearing wigs that mimic European hair or Asian hair. Stop trying to look like someone that you don't look like and wear your natural hair with confidence and be proud of what you are because there's people out there that literally want to be a black woman but they just don't want to admit it because they don't like to give black women credit. There are so many people out there that are changing their own features and the way that they look to look like a black woman. Meanwhile, you have black women that are trying to change the way they look to look like these other women. Embrace who you are and be proud of it. Our hair is so diverse. There's so many different hairstyles that we can do, like braids, twists, so many hairstyles that we can do that look way more attractive than wigs. And I don't think people understand how bad wigs look, especially in real life. I don't think I've ever met a man that has ever said, yeah, I like when women wear wigs. Like I said, it's not all about men. But a lot of black women do use the excuse that, oh, well, men prefer black women with wigs because our natural hair isn't as appreciated. But how is our natural hair going to be appreciated if you guys keep covering your hair with wigs? You're not embracing your natural beauty as a black woman by wearing, Asian hair on your head. Our hair doesn't look like that naturally. Many women have different goals of what they want their hair to look like. Some women want to grow their hair out and have long hair. Some women want to have short hair. It just depends on what your goal is for when it comes to hair. So for me, I've always wanted to have long hair because I think long hair is very beautiful. So I ended up growing my hair out. I would always have my hair in protective styles. I would oil my scalp. I would make a whole regimen for my hair and find out different tips and tricks that would work for me. So you just have to experiment when it comes to hair and see what works best for you, find different products that worked for you and see if it works. And that's exactly what I did. I managed to grow my hair from my shoulders down to my butt and I have long 4B hair. I love doing cute hairstyles with my hair, whether it's having my hair on box braids, twists, two buns or a bun at the top and two pieces of hair at the front, or wearing my hair out curly with perm rods, or doing a wash and go. I love wearing my natural hair out and doing cute hairstyles with my hair because it just makes me feel so confident, and it just makes me feel like a beautiful black woman. And I get so many different compliments on my hair from different groups of people, whether it's men or women. But I just love the way my hair looks when I have it out naturally. And I think a lot of black women should embrace their hair and do the same thing. That's how you maximize your beauty. The next thing I would like to talk about is makeup. So, as women, we like to wear makeup because it makes us feel feminine, and makeup is just something that women like. It's something that we like at a very young age. But I do think that a lot of women, especially black women, make the wrong choices when it comes to makeup. Now, don't get me wrong, everyone likes what they like, but I think a lot of people choose makeup styles that don't suit their faces. Realizing lately is this recent body trend, or the Instagram IG model trend, where they wear like a certain style of makeup, whether it's, the makeup is very heavy and they wear big lashes. And there's other women that aspire to be like these women. I don't know why, but they end up copying their style. So they end up wearing the heavy lashes and the wigs and the heavy makeup, and it just doesn't suit their face at all. Now, don't get me wrong, everyone has their own aesthetic and their own style that they like, but a lot of women that are copying these Instagram girls are choosing makeup that doesn't suit their face. So it just completely takes away from their beauty that they have. Me personally, I don't like that whole Instagram body aesthetic because I do think that it's tacky. I don't like the way it looks. I think it's too heavy and it's very trashy. That's just my genuine opinion, which is the reason why I don't take part in that style. I don't do my makeup like that. I prefer something that's more soft. But whenever I see women do their makeup like this, it just completely takes away from their face. It takes away from their beauty completely. Like I said, it may suit some people, but the majority of people that I see do their makeup like this, it doesn't look good and it doesn't suit them at all. But because they're so worried about copying the next person and doing what the next person is doing, they don't even realize that it doesn't look good on them. And sometimes some people have to realize that less is more. So if you are gonna wear lashes, don't wear lashes that are that big and take away from your whole face. Eyes are meant to be the first thing that someone sees when they look at you, but they're not going to be able to look at your eyes probably because of the big lashes that you are wearing. So usually you should opt for lashes that are more minimal, not as big. Or if you're going to wear blush, don't wear blush that's too extreme, or a blush that doesn't really suit your skin complexion, because there's so many different blush shades that are made for every single skin complexion. Some things might suit one person and it might not suit you, and it's okay to admit that. Minimalistic makeup will always look good. It will never go out of style. You can never go wrong with a simple makeup look. It will always be classy and it will always look good. And I feel like a lot of women, especially black women, do not like having that conversation. Whenever you say things like that, the demographic that do like the type of IG aesthetic, whenever you mention it, they get upset and they start getting defensive. Of course, like I said, everyone likes what they like. But me personally, I don't think it looks good. And many people agree with me. I cannot stand the whole IG, aesthetic. I don't like it. I think it's very tacky. But that's just my opinion. But I do prefer minimalistic makeup, and I think that is how you maximize your beauty because it doesn't take away from your looks. If anything, it enhances your looks, it enhances your beauty. Find out what your undertone is for your skin complexion and see what color suits you best. Or you can even do a color analysis where you can find out what colors look good on you or what colors don't, because some colors can make you look more dull and some colors can bring out your skin complexion and make you look nice. Whereas for me, for example, pink looks very good on my skin complexion. I have a light brown skin complexion, so I think pink looks best on me. Or even red, or orange, yellow, blue, those type of colors suit my skin complexion, whereas colors like maybe gray might not suit me as much because it might make my skin look more dull. So I tend to stay away from that color. So the third thing that I wanted to talk about is eating healthy and exercise. Many black women feel more pressured into looking curvy or more thick because of the standards that we have in our community, whether you're from Africa or the Caribbean or Latin America or America. You know, black women typically possess more curvier shapes naturally. So I feel like a lot of black girls feel pressured into looking like that from, well, in my experience, peer pressure from family members or even other black girls in school. Now, I was very skinny growing up, and a lot of the black girls growing up were more curvy. They had a bigger butt and they had bigger boobs. So they'll kind of pick on me and make fun of me for being more skinny. And because of that, I felt very insecure with the way I looked. So I ended up developing an eating disorder where I'd overeat to try and gain weight, and many other black girls have gone through the same thing and they just haven't even realized it because many black people don't really talk about things like eating disorders. So because a lot of black women felt more pressured into gaining weight, this can lead into things like obesity, which is an issue that a lot of African American women are suffering with. I think African American women have the highest rates of obesity in America. I'm not from America, so I wouldn't really know. But I think the main reason why they don't really sort out this issue in America is probably because to some black people, or to a lot of black people, they get mixed up between obese and thick or curvy. Many black people will look at someone that looks like this and say that, oh no, she's not fat, she's curvy or she's thick, when in reality, this is overweight. And I think that's the issue with what a lot of black people in America have, is that they keep mixing up obese with curvy. Curvy is still slim, but it just means that you have a butt or maybe bigger boobs, but you're still slim. You're not overweight. So when it comes to working out, one thing I like to do is have an idea of what I want my body to look like. One thing I used to love doing was reading magazines or looking at magazines or, you know, Victoria's Secret models, and I would just look at them and think to myself like, yeah, I want my body to look like that. My ideal body would be someone like Laís Ribeiro. I think I'm pronouncing her name right, but she was a top model from Brazil, and she had like the perfect body, like my ideal body of what I wanted to look like. She was slim, she had boobs, she had a slim waist, a very flat stomach, she had the butt, it wasn't too big. She was just very slim, like her body was perfect. She had a very lean body shape, so you could tell she did loads of cardio, but she was still curvy at the same time. Another person that I wanted to look like was Jasmine Kendrick, who was also very slim, but she had curves. I felt like that was just the perfect body shape that she had. She used to go viral back on Tumblr for her body shape. So something I like to do is go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. And the main thing that I do is cardio because, like I said, I want to be slim. But I do also use weights because I want to build some muscle on my bottom half. Another thing that I like to do is at least get 10,000 steps in every single day. Or not every single day, but most days. And that's what helps me stay in shape, keep slim, and have a very toned stomach. So if you're going out or if you're going to work or wherever you're going, you can walk instead of taking transport. And that's something that I definitely started doing, is instead of getting on the bus to go to work, I would walk instead. And sometimes it feels like, oh well, that's so long, I don't feel like it. Some days I might have lazy days. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't. I'm not going to lie. I do have lazy days some days. But I do try to walk instead of taking public transport or driving. When you're in shape and you have your desired body that you want, that you've always wanted, you start to feel so much better about yourself. You start to feel more confident about the way you look. And I could definitely make a video about, you know, being more overweight and obese, but I definitely feel that that might be a bit of a controversial take because many people, especially black people, don't really like to have that type of conversation because you get called fat phobic or, you know, all types of names. But really and truly, when you are slim or skinny, you do feel a lot better about yourself. You feel more confident. And one thing that I really want to say is that a lot of black people like to sugarcoat things. Black women already have, you know, high obesity rates in the US, which also leads to things like diabetes. You're more likely to get diabetes if you're overweight. But whenever people do have these discussions, many black women, or a certain demographic of black women, get defensive and are like, oh well, we should appreciate all body types. But when you say things like that, that isn't really making anything better for yourself. You just find it hard to accept the fact that being overweight isn't really a good thing, and it is good to be in shape and it should be healthy. Like I said, black women already have a stereotype of being overweight and fat, which isn't really seen as desired. So when you say things like that, it's just telling more black girls that they shouldn't really improve their looks. But like I said, that's a video for another time because this is like a very controversial take. And if you don't feel confident going to the gym just yet because you've got anxiety or you feel like people are watching you, which they aren't, but I know many people do feel that way, there's loads of home workouts that you can do on YouTube or even on TikTok. There's so many videos out there. You just have to find the right ones that work best for you. Also, start to focus on your diet and what you're putting inside of your body. It isn't just about working out and going to the gym, because you could be going to the gym and doing all types of workouts but eating a bunch of junk food like McDonald's. You will still be overweight. Depending on your goal, always check on the amount of calories that you're eating, because sometimes you can go overboard and that will obviously make you gain weight. And sometimes you can eat less and you might not gain weight like how you want to, like if you're skinny like how I used to be. So always check for things like that. There's many recipes that you can find on TikTok and Pinterest if you're struggling to find meals to cook like me. But Pinterest is definitely a very helpful app because there's so many different types of meals, high protein, high calorie, low calorie, all different types of meals that are on there that you can use. Also link my Pinterest down below if you guys are struggling to find any meals. I think my Pinterest will definitely help a lot of you guys. But that is it for now. Thank you guys for watching. I might make a part 2 because there was a couple more things that I would have liked to add to this video. I don't want to make it too long. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave your comment down below and let me know what you think. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.